Hello and welcome to the show. All sorts of technical befuddlements of befoolenness. That was a lot of interesting words in one sentence there. Yeah, there has been many a problem today. So, not quite the video that was intended. In fact, I'm recording this rather late, so if I fall asleep, I apologise. Also, I'm terribly ill. It's not gone well today. It's just not been a good day at all. However, we're going to have a video. I don't know how long this is going to last until my voice utterly gives out, but it might be quite a short video. Anyway, we start today with a Volkswagen Beetle. Yes, the most hateful of cars. I can't do anything with it. Oh, can I not explode it? Well, I don't mean, well, I do mean literally explode it, but normally you can press the button and it opens all the things, and it doesn't. Anyway, yes, we have a Beetle. However, of course, it is not a normal Beetle. This wouldn't be FailRace if we had a standard Beetle. No, this one has a V8 engine. Of course it does. In fact, how many horsepower has it got? It has got quite a lot. As you can see from the statistics, it's got 700 of the horsepowers, 660 of the torques, not very much of the weight. And the idea behind this is I was going to try and build a wheelie car. I have never built a wheelie car on any Forza game. I've seen them, I've been in lobbies with them, I've seen a wheelie Hummer. But I've never built one myself. So, as a sort of a little challenge to myself, I was going to give it a go and see if I could do it. And this Beetle is the car that I was going to start with. The reason why I am using the Beetle is because it is rear-engined, rear-wheel drive, which means most of the weight is at the back, which is useful when it comes to wheeling. I don't quite know how the physics work on this game. I know on Forza 4 you could never get a car to properly wheelie sort of from a standing start. They were sort of, well, you might have been able to with a smart car, but for most cars anyway, you could never get them to do sort of a full-on wheelie from launch. You had to sort of cheat a little bit. You could get them to do sort of like bouncy wheelies and that kind of thing, but you could never get them to actually do a full-on proper wheelie. So I didn't really know what to expect with this game. I knew it was going to be tricky. I was trying to drive the car really cautiously to show you what it does before I get to a good start location. This is an interesting car, to say the least, when it comes to drive. Now, I have put a rear wing on it. Again, this is all to kind of to try and get the back of the car as down as much as possible for when I launch it off the line. This is, where's it got? It's got some 5.7 litre V8, I think, is in here, and it's all in the back. I don't know how they fitted it in there. I'd love for it to be able to have shown it in the Forza Vista, how they fitted the engine in the back of this thing, because it's not in the back seats. They look fairly normal. It's a bit like Street Legal Racing Redline or whatever, where you fitted engines where they shouldn't. Only this time I don't have the gearbox sticking out of the boot. Anyway, when we set off with this car, I'm trying to show you, with this, it does, it kind of thinks about it. It kind of thinks about doing a wheelie. If I try and get it to kind of do like the bounce wheelies off the ground, I was getting it to do this better earlier. Now I'm filming, I can't get it to do it again. There we go. It's kind of, yeah, I mean, it's getting a weird, where's the corner? I don't know where the corner is. Okay, we're fine. We're miles away. Oh god, don't know what I was worried about. I can kind of, yeah, if I can kind of bounce it along, I can kind of bounce it and get the front wheels to come up. Part of the problem with this car is you'll notice, if you look at the back of the car, the occasions when I actually have got it right, well, can't do it now, the back of the car, sort of, the front of the car, sorry, is lifting up, and the back of the car scrapes along the floor, which means that it doesn't. I can't get it to lift up the wheels very far. Also, this isn't the most powerful of cars. As I said, it has got 700 horsepower, but you could have more out of it. Yeah, you should sit there. Whoa, there are other problems as well. Oh god, this is sort of closer to the, oh, in fact, now we are, oh, hold on, what's going on here? We are, oh heavens, in my attempts to wheelie it, I wasn't doing that sort of speed. I've created a kind of a weird car in this one. I knew it did sort of a little bit floppy around when you went fast, didn't realise it did quite that much. So yeah, this car doesn't wheelie from a sort of standing position or whatever. I can get it to do very weird. In fact, I am now getting it to wheelie over bumps and things. I'm getting it to do all sorts of weird. Oh, we're not going to stop. We are never going to stop. In fact, actually, we might. We did. So, now I'm surprised by that. Didn't expect that to get stopped in time. I think that might have race brakes in my attempts to get the thing to sort of do a bouncy wheelie off the ground. So yeah, I mean, it does a weird sort of movie aroundy thing. Let's go on cockpit view. Oh, good God, it is kind of scary in here. Yeah, this is actually probably the closest thing I've built to a jelly car on this game. Oh, we're going to play in the grass. Oh, invisible walls. Oh, magic teleporting beetle. It's Herbie. I don't think Herbie ever teleported though. He drove himself, but I don't think he teleported. Yeah, this is a weird setup car. Let's go for a run in cockpit view. Yeah, it's oh good God, it's a tricky thing to drive. I mean, this might even blooming roll over on its own if I can get it to enough speed. I might have to lengthen the gears if I wanted to try that. But yeah, I mean, it will do all sorts of craziness. Won't wheelie. Well, it may in this craziness kind of wheelie. It's not wheeling in the proper traditional sense of a wheelie, if that makes sense. If there is a traditional sense for a wheelie, I don't know. Maybe there is. So this was a bit of a failure. I did create a thing, a mental thing, but not a wheelie car. It was a little bit of a shame, but I had another idea. Let's just back out of this. Now I'm recording this live so I can show you the parts and the tuning for this next car, because I was actually successful. Would you believe it? I know, it surprised me as well. We did something correct for once. This Beetle is well, it's a case of throw everything of the engine in, and pretty much most of the other upgrades. I tried removing the rear bumper just so that I could get it to scrape less on the floor, but that didn't really work. Oh, I'm going to go through the blooming garage. What is it in? R? Yes, there it is. And here is a car that I have actually got to wheelie. It is a rough CTI Yellowbird. Now, I was remembering when I drove this car, when we were doing the Stig laps, I drove this car, so I knew what I was talking about for it. And I could not drive it. It was a terrible thing, because when you went through a fast corner, the front of the car lifts up. The reason why it does this, if we go into the My Cars tab, it has, I think standard, it has 37% of the weight over the front. With the modifications I put on it, I've managed to get it to slightly less. It has no weight over the front of the car, and that is a problem through high-speed corners. And I was hoping if I could put lots of power, it's actually less powerful than the Beetle, that surprises me. Yeah, the plan was put lots of power in this car, and we might be able to get it to do a wheelie. That was the plan. I mean, the Beetle, I think it was 40% or 41% weight over the front, and that's not much, considering, well, for a road car anyway. I think like the Formula 1 cars and stuff have a little different, like the classic Formula 1 cars have different weight distribution, but yeah, so the Beetle, it didn't quite work with that. However, this car here does work. It is, I can't believe I managed to get the blooming thing to actually sort of wheelie, and it wheelies properly as well. It's none of the silly bouncy wheelies. If I can I launch it correctly? Here we go, and we're off. We're in the air. We are looking up at the sky. That wasn't the best launch I've ever done with the thing. Not quite as spectacular as the Beetles, I will be honest. It is a little bit more controlled than the Beetle. However, look at the wheelie Porsche, or rough, really rough. I should probably call it that. But yeah, it actually wheelies. It is a proper wheelie car. I am amazed. I am absolutely amazed that. It's working. I've fallen off the road again. It doesn't handle very well. It handles even worse than the normal one. I also like how the exhausts, I've never noticed this before, because I don't normally drive third person, point out at silly angles. Never mind. Right, here we go. Can we get for a good run? Now, if I spent a lot more time tuning the gears, I could probably... Oh no, I've changed up too soon. I could probably sort out the gear ratios to be better at this. I just literally haven't had time. Here we go. Wheelie, 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 wheelie. Ha-ha! See, it's a wheelie car, and it wheelies off the line. We'll get stopped again, and we'll try it again. It's okay. I'm sure there are people out there who have built far better wheelie cars, but this is a fairly straightforward build, if you like. I'll show you the tune in a minute, and we're off again. Now that was a terrible one. Okay, this car is quite expensive. I think it's about 370,000 credits, which is not cheap, and that's not another. Oh, I can't get. God damn it! I was doing better earlier. In fact, it also goes wheelie. If you hit a bump, it does a wheelie as well, which is always fun. Let's go back to the cockpit view, see if I can get a better launch. Woo! And here we go. Now, yeah, this is, again, it's got the engine in the boot, and that's what gives this car great traction off the line. And that's why I think why this car is one of the very, very few that will wheelie, or at least I expect to be able to wheelie. Because yeah, this thing standard has excellent traction off the line. There we go. I still can't blooming do it when I'm in cockpit view. Also very hard to tell quite how far the front of the car is off the ground. Yeah, this car has great launch. I think that's what makes this car wheelie, where a lot of cars struggle, even if you fiddle with the suspension in the same way. With other vehicles, they struggle. They struggle to get off the line quite as quickly. I was surprised at this car as well. It's a twin turbo engine, I believe, in this one. It's still got the standard engine in this. Because I was building the Beetle with the supercharger on it, just to avoid any possible turbo lag. It's also got very, very funny braking characteristics. There we go. Still can't get it right now. Now I'm recording. It's all gone wrong. No, changed up too soon. Anyway, yeah, this car will actually wheelie from a standing start. I think I got one good wheelie in there. As far as setup goes, tyre pressures, I didn't have to bother changing them. Gearing, I think I put it a little bit more towards acceleration, but with a car with this much power, it's not massively important. Again, I mean, you could probably fine-tune this, get a little bit better, so I don't have to keep changing gears off this launch, I think. If I spent a lot of time, if I had time, this is being recorded, I apologise, it's a little bit rushed. Yeah, you could fiddle with the gears, and you could definitely get the gears a little bit better on this. Again, haven't touched any of this, haven't touched the anti-roll bars. The springs, you want to put the ride height for the front and the rear as high as it goes, make the front and rear springs as soft as possible, and then make the rebound stiffnesses as soft as possible, and then you want to put the rear downforce up to maximum, and that makes this car wheelie. It will wheelie along quite happily. It's not the biggest wheelie in the world. I'll have another go, because I have done better in practice than typical. I haven't got the I wasn't recording when I was doing impressive wheelies. I say impressive wheelies. Yeah, again, the problem with this car, much like the Beetle, it will scrape the back of the car on the floor. Not much you can do about that one, unfortunately. We'll try again. Can I? Nah, I still can't blooming get it to do. Woohoo! We found a bump and we're going off to play in the city. There's a house over there. I want to live in that house. Can I? No, I want to go to the house. I want to go and live in the. I'll wheelie my way. No, I won't, because I'm stuck. No, game. Why? I wonder if there really is a house in real life next to the Top Gear track. It is a house. It's not like a little shed or something. It does look like a proper house. Got a chimney and everything. I don't know. Maybe there is. It would be an awesome place to live there. There we go. That's a better wheelie done on blooming bonnet view, so you can't see it very well. Yeah. It's a wheelie car. I have built a wheelie car, and it only took me sort of, well, 20-30 minutes of fiddling around with stuff. I'll just go quickly show you the parts. I mean, on the most part for this, we'll back out of there. Most part, it's just fully upgrade the engine, do absolutely everything possible to the engine. Tyre choices, well, I went for drag tyres, because you want as much grip as possible in the launch. Also, where's it gone? Here we go, yeah. You want drag tyres, it will give you the best launch possible. Okay, it won't make the car quite as good handling, but it'll give you best acceleration and best launch, which is very, very good. It also increases, I didn't know it increases the braking quite so much. Okay, I mean, these tyres are no good for racing, of course, because they'll degrade far too quickly. But, yeah, you need drag tyres. You want the maximum rear tyre width you can get. Doesn't matter about the front tyre width, that's not important, because the plan is to have them wheels off the ground anyway. So yeah, you don't bother with them, but you don't want the maximum tyre width. Also, it helps that this car can have some pretty damn big rear tyres by Forza standards anyway. So yeah, you want to have that. You want to go for rear aero. I didn't take the aero off an experiment, but since that's what I was using and that was working, I didn't question it. The other thing that I've forgotten, oh yes, the other thing about this car is I didn't take the weight out. There is a good reason for this, because as you can see now, it's got 36% weight distribution to the front. If I take the weight out of it, while that might be easier to sort of move around the car with, like have better acceleration and stuff, it then goes to 40% weight distribution to the front. That's not what we want. We want the weight to be in the back. So that's why I've kept the stock weight. I don't know what would happen if I did that. Shall we find out, since we're here, since I'm recording? If we do that, will it work as well? I don't know. Let's find out. But yeah, you don't need to put the weight reduction. Yeah, this is going to cost a bit. If you want to go wheeling with this rough, it is not going to be particularly cheap. Car's expensive. The upgrades are expensive. But it does work. You can build a wheelie car with a few sort of moves of the slider, and it doesn't take forever fine-tuning it, like it did on previous Forzas. Although I think you could get the Aston Martin Signet to do silly stuff, and the smart car to do silly stuff fairly straightforwardly. Right, does it still wheelie? In fact, it wheelies better. Okay, well maybe that theory went out the window then, or maybe I just did it properly. Yeah, this car very, very easy to wheelie. Yeah, that's pretty damn spectacular, I would say. There we go. FailRace have built a wheelie car. I wasn't expecting to say that this morning. That wasn't the plan at all. But there we go. We have done something successfully. Anyway, that is it for this video, guys. So thank you very much for watching. You're more than welcome to try this setup on other cars and inform me if this works on other vehicles. Because I haven't had a chance to try it. It might well work on different cars. If you can get a car, I think it's got to be got to have really big rear tyres and got to have an awful lot of sort of launch. Otherwise, it's not going to have the speed to kind of pull a wheelie. It's also got to have a fair amount of weight towards the back of the car. So you're going to probably want a mid-engine, well, you're probably going to want a rear-engine car, but there's not many of them in here. But yeah, you have a play with it, see if you can get any cars to do cool wheelies. Anyway, that is it for today. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.